Hey everybody, today's episode of Running It Back Hard Knocks edition. That's right, football season is coming up. It's not quite here yet, but I'll tell you what is here is the Hard Knocks recap show with me, Patrick Ramirez. I'll explain all the details. Before we get to the episode, I want to remind you, if you want to see me doing live stand-up comedy, I am in the Burbank Comedy Festival next week. My dates are August 14th, 5 p.m., and August 16th, 6 p.m. Come on out to lovely Burbank Flappers Comedy Club, or come straight to me, and I will get you tickets to the show. Come see me do stand-up. Not to mention, a lot of other funny folks are on the show. It's a whole festival. It's a whole week of comedy stand-up right here on the West Coast. So please come on out. So it is the start of my new series, the recap show of the HBO series Hard Knocks. This year, I'm doing it different. I am having a new guest join me for the recap show every single episode. There's 5 episodes, and it started tonight. And today, comedian Franklin Yee joins me as we react to Hard Knocks. We react to Aaron Rodgers. We react to the Jets. We react, I guess, to football in general. Football is not starting soon, but it's getting close. We tried to hold back our excitement a little bit on it. I'm going to let you know right now, we went over the top somewhere. We got off track. We got off the rails. We got crazy. We made some massive predictions that I know are not going to come true. So, I don't know where you're at on football. Did you watch Hard Knocks? Did you subscribe to HBO Max just for it? That's what I do. So we had to have a sit down, and we did it live in the studio here. We watched the episode, and we just hit the record button, and we rolled, and these were our thoughts. We got overall thoughts to talk about, and then we had the questions to answer at the end of the episode. So here it is, Hard Knocks, Episode 1 with myself and comedian Franklin Yee. Here we go. All right, NFL is almost here. Franklin Yee joins me, LA comedian. We are going to be breaking down Hard Knocks. And this year on the show, we're doing a new guest every single episode. Frank, you're kicking it off.
Hey, I'm excited.
We just watched episode 1.
Hey, that was a good episode, right?
Right. Like, we were sitting down watching it, and about, 45 seconds in, you're like, I'm ready for football now.
I am, man. I am. What about you? Are you ready for football too?
Yeah, well, it takes this doc to, get the engines started. Because, think of the summer of sports. We got the NBA finishes in the summer, and then we really don't have anything until football. You can watch World Cup every time that comes around. I watch the Tour because I follow cycling, but that's really it. It's the dog days of baseball. And then we have to have something NFL-like to get our juices flowing again. And Hard Knocks always does such a good job. So first of all, if we got Hard Knocks, and I get you on episode 1, I got to say, it took me a few tries to get you, Frank, because this summer, you kept ditching me this summer because you were, depressed about the Lakers? You don't want to talk about their exit?
Oh, man, that was horrible. When you talked to me, there was a good little streak. I was like, okay, they have a chance. And I was like, they lost. And I was like, all right, we'll do the next one when they win.
Yeah, because you blew me off. Because first they won the first series. Frank, let's talk a little basketball. Let's catch up. Let's see how the Nuggets go. And then they lose game 1. I'm like, Frank, let's do it. And you're like, all right, well, let's see how the next game goes. And then you just drop off the map. What happened, Frank? You're depressed that the Lakers got swept.
Oh, man. They blew an opportunity.
So it doesn't sound like you're over it.
They blew that shit, bro.
It sounds like you're a little disappointed still.
I was very disappointed, man.
Yeah.
But, I don't play sports. I can't say it. But, LeBron hits a 3 here and there. They might get a game,
Yeah.
D'Lo maybe scores maybe 12 points. We get a game,
They weren't winning that series, but realistically, they could have won 1, maybe 2 games.
If they would have got that first game, then they could have won the
first
series.
game was the closest, you're right.
Because when you think about the whole playoffs thing, it was all upsets, They weren't supposed to be Memphis. They just sort of, broke their soul in the first game,
Mm-hmm.
And then Golden State, same thing, And then they're about to do it with Denver. Then LeBron just, became old.
Yeah. Yeah, it showed in the last 2 games.
And I was like,
Tough Lakers season.
It was weird too, because like usually he passes the ball, and then like these
LeBron?
moments,
Are we talking about the same LeBron?
Yeah, I mean, like in the big moments, like gets the open. I felt like if he would have passed to Reeves a couple of times, we might have gotten like a win or something.
Reeves kind of a sneaky end of the season. Stock going up on Reeves.
Oh, definitely.
Well, we're not here to talk about the NBA. It's too depressing. But we are here to talk about Hard Knocks. We just watched episode 1. New York Jets. So here's my sort of notes going into Hard Knocks before the episode. Number 1, why the Jets? Are we interested in the Jets? Can I get psyched up about the Jets? And then the other thing is, it used to be Hard Knocks was like, we waited for Hard Knocks. We waited for football all summer long.
True.
But we have lots of football content throughout the summer. Like, I don't know if you saw Quarterback on the Netflix doc. It was really good. And the good thing about it was we got all the footage from the year we just watched. So we got to see Mahomes freaking out on the sideline over his injury.
Oh, wow.
We got to hear trash talk. So like Hard Knocks is not the only game in town anymore. We have a lot of good options for NFL when the season hasn't even started yet.
And also, they have an in-season Hard Knocks now.
In-season Hard Knocks. I actually watched it last year. I think it was the Cardinals last year.
It was the Cardinals. It was the Lions and the Cardinals last year.
Yeah. And so we have that option. And then I got into a high school football documentary in the summer, which was just when I get high school football, I need a crazy coach, I need crazy parents, and this one had it all. So I filled my cup up with football content throughout the summer. What do you do sports-wise for the summer?
Oh, it was a pretty slow summer. Maybe go to a Dodger game, go to a baseball game.
Little baseball for you?
Yeah, but I listened to like a lot of ESPN radio, and it's been boring the past like 2 months.
Really?
They have like nothing to talk about.
There really hasn't.
And even like the football season, like the off season, was sort of boring, right?
Yeah, well, our off-season stories were where's Garoppolo going to go, where's Aaron Rodgers going to go, coaching switch around, but all that happened early.
Yeah, and then Derek Carr fucking left.
Derek Carr, right? All those stories sort of like happened in that first couple months of the offseason, and then we were just bored in this desert. I mean, World Cup, I didn't get into Women's World Cup, really. I wanted to, it didn't happen. I follow cycling, so I had the tour for 3 weeks. But that's about it, really. We are ready for Hard Knocks. We're ready for football.
What was there to watch? Yeah, there's nothing. Even
golf?
Nah.
You don't watch golf? I don't either.
The basketball?
Tennis? Wimbledon? French Open? You're not a tennis guy.
Nah, I didn't watch that either.
We really only have the big 3.
The thing about football, too, is like when football starts, that's when baseball gets good because it's the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And another thing, too, is like that's when everything just flies, Every Sunday you watch football. Every Monday you watch football. Thursday, you do your fantasy. But then the year just goes by, and when it's Super Bowl, it's February.
Yeah, it really is. Football is just set up so perfectly because it's reality TV for men.
Yeah.
We have a show once a week. We watch it, and then we talk about it all week, and then we get to watch another episode the next week.
That's true.
And then we each have our favorite character. We each have our team, and then we just follow it. It's so perfect. It's set up for perfect TV.
Yeah, because last year that one dude on the Bills, he passed out on the field, right?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, it only grows and grows because we have off-field stuff to talk about with the Damar Hamlin thing and player tweets we can obsess about. We talked about it while we were watching the episode. The Sean Payton throwing shots at the Jets coach, and then Aaron Rodgers throwing shots back. I don't know if we got stuff like this back in the day. We have so much media coverage.
That's true.
That we don't miss a beat.
Because that's going to be a big game on ESPN or whatever, when the Broncos play the Jets. I actually went to that game last year. And let me tell you, that's one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life.
You went to Jets Broncos.
I went to Jets Broncos. I went to Mile High to watch the game.
Were you punishing yourself? Why did you go to that?
It was a group trip. I have a friend that's a Broncos fan and another friend that's a Jets fan. So we went. And then it was just like, it was bad. But like, it wasn't fun to watch at all. It was nothing. But the field was dope,
Okay. So you saw some positive in it. Well, this is how excited we got, just you and me watching Hard Knocks. We're talking about games we can go to. You're like, I want to go to Raiders Jets. And I'm like, I want to go to Raiders Bears. We're talking about booking flights. We're talking about buying tickets. So we got pumped. Catch me up, though. Who's your NFL team?
Mine? The Raiders.
You're a Raiders fan too.
I like the Raiders. I grew up on them,
Okay.
I have Rams season tickets, and I'm a big Peyton Manning fan, which is pretty crazy because he went to the Broncos and stuff like that.
Oh,
I love Peyton Manning. That's like my favorite football player.
You love Peyton Manning, and you're a Rams fan, and you got Raiders as well.
No, I got Rams season tickets.
Oh, not a Rams fan, Rams season tickets.
So I support the Rams because if they win, I make money and stuff like that.
Okay.
But they're okay,
Okay.
Like,
But we can come together on Raiders.
Yeah.
Well, then let me ask you this: how are you feeling, Jimmy G?
I feel like they're tanking.
Oh, really?
I feel like they're tanking for the quarterback.
Didn't they give him a big contract though, or was it 3 years? I think it was 3 years.
There's stipulations though,
yeah.
and stuff like that.
So this isn't their guy.
I mean, to be honest with you, it makes no sense. I don't know what's going on with that shit, to be honest.
So you're not feeling glass half empty for you.
Like, it's just, you don't know what's going on over there. It makes no sense. But then again, like, you know how football is. Like, the team that you don't think is going to win actually has a good season
Sometimes
and
it
stuff
happens.
like that. So.
Jaguars, good example of
Good
that.
example.
Yeah. I'm feeling good about the Raiders because we got Jimmy G has won playoff games. He has shine, and now he's with Josh McDaniels, who he was with at the Patriots. We revamped some. I think there's reason to feel good. I think there's reason to say we are better than last year.
Well, Josh Jacobs is tripping too, right?
Josh Jacobs has not signed again, or is he still holding out?
I think he's franchised.
Well, you know why I don't worry about this? Because running backs never have 2 good seasons in a row anymore. Case in point, the last play Ezekiel Elliott played for the Cowboys, he was a center. Running backs do not have longevity, so I have no problem with running backs not being paid and moving on these days because I think they're replaceable. Again, I'm trying to be positive. I could be wrong.
I felt like he had a good season because it was his contract year.
Could be.
Because everyone's
You're
like,
right.
oh, he's going, we got to give him another contract. We got to sign him for like years to come. I'm like, let's see if he can do it another year.
He was great last year. He was the bright spot
Oh, he saved me in fantasy
of
football.
the team. Really? You had him?
Oh, yeah. He saved me.
I was to the point where I was like, forget passing. We don't need a pass. Just run it. Just run the ball. Waller, can you block somebody? Just run.
Oh, man.
All right, we already got off on Raiders talk.
Maybe they'll be the in-season team on Hard Knocks.
They haven't announced the in-season team yet, have they?
Yeah, because we were talking about the Jets. Like, we're just like, they have Aaron Rodgers is a big thing. And we're like, usually Hard Knocks sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck, but the team that gets sucks, right?
Yeah, well, there's stipulations for the team that can be on Hard Knocks. I think they are, you can't have made the playoffs the year previous. You can't have a first-year coach. And I don't think you could have been on the show in the last, 5 seasons.
Yeah.
So that means it's usually a team that's sub 500.
Because I read the Jets were on, probably when Hard Knocks started. That was one of the first ones, I think, right?
No, Hard Knocks goes back a long ways.
does?
But the Jets were one of the great ones with Rex Ryan,
Yeah, that was a
Darrell
good.
Revis. That got Hard Knocks on the map to non-HBO subscribers.
That was a good Hard Knocks.
That was a
actually.
good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. So let's lead right into it. Why the Jets? So when you see the Jets come out are going to be the Hard Knocks team, what's your instant reaction?
My instant reaction is don't they want to win a title? Ain't it bad luck to be on Hard Knocks?
Yeah, there's got to be a curse, right?
Was Tampa Bay ever on Hard Knocks when they won the title?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think Tampa Bay's been on it.
Has anyone ever won a title being on Hard Knocks the same season?
I don't think so.
So why would they do that? Because you remember at
Yeah.
the beginning of the episode, they're talking about crows and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, interesting start to the episode.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's like being on the Madden cover. Would you want to be on the Madden cover?
It's got a Madden cover. It's got a Sports Illustrated week before the Super Bowl cover curse to it, where we kind of get it's funny that we think these things are important. We think they matter, but
That's true.
they really do. They really do. Oh shoot, Michael Vick's on the cover. He got injured, or such and such was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That means they're going to lose. So there is a little bit of that. I mean, I was surprised that they chose the Jets. I thought it was going to be another team.
I mean, they fit the criteria, and then
Right.
they got the Aaron Rodgers trades.
I'm also surprised
good
the
TV.
Jets agreed to this. More
Right.
media scrutiny for a team that's going to have Rodgers, some changes on the coaching staff. This is a big year for the Jets. Think about it. We got Aaron Rodgers, who's at the twilight of his career. Zach Wilson, we got to figure out what they have with them. So this is a big season on the horizon for the Jets. So the other thing with Hard Knocks going way back, remember when teams for training camp would actually go to camp?
Yeah.
Like, remember, because the Cowboys would come here to Oxnard. And they would sleep in dorms, and like the players would bring like their pillow and stuff. Now they just have it at their facilities. I kind of miss the camp.
Shit, I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, like I remember because the Raiders would go to Sonoma, wine country, and they would have team dinners at fancy restaurants. And now they just all go to their own team fancy facilities. I miss the camp.
Wow.
To be honest, remember? And they would drive around on golf carts and stuff.
2023, man. I didn't know that. I just realized that. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched honestly the Jets. The last time I watched a full season of like Hard Knocks, I actually remembered was the Jets one, the last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because all of them
10+ years ago.
All of them, even the Raider one, like all of them was like it's like
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just fun to watch. It was,
but you're saying the Jets motivated you this year?
Aaron Rodgers did.
Aaron Rodgers did.
I was curious to see all that stuff, and he actually made the episode better, right?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers then. Friend or foe, I wrote in my notes when I was like, when I watch this episode, I got to try and figure out what are my feelings are about Aaron Rodgers. My feelings would be like phenomenal talent. I don't know if I fully trust him though. Like I feel like he tanked last year for himself.
You think so?
I feel like he was horrible on purpose last year. Maybe he didn't like the coaching. Maybe he was thinking, I want to be traded next year. Maybe I won't put in.
True.
I don't know if I fully trust him if I'm a fan, but after watching this episode, I think he's really compelling. I think he's an interesting guy. I think he's hiding something, like which makes me like want to like know more about him. What are your feelings on Aaron Rodgers?
Well, when you think about it, like they got rid of Brett Favre for him, right? That's like the most loyalty they showed for him, and then like he dominated that Super Bowl against the Steelers, right? Basically, but then like all his players got hurt and stuff with that, but like. It was a good Super Bowl, and they thought he was going to win so many more, but they never got him players.
Mm-hmm. And, like, his playoff record is woeful.
Yeah.
He's had some bad playoff runs.
Like, he had to do everything himself, you know? They got him enough players, but look at how stacked, like, all these other teams are. When Manning went with the Broncos, even with the Colts, his teams were stacked, you know? Tom Brady had that problem. Then when he went to Tampa, his teams, even Tom Brady, when his New England teams were stacked, too.
So you're saying you think the Packers let him down?
I think so. They drafted in their QB, you know, like use that to get like a running back or like a defensive end or.
They had a running back. They had Aaron Jones.
Right.
They had Devontae Adams. I feel like they had some offensive weapons. I don't know what happened. I just think it was a bad marriage going on there those last couple years.
Maybe, but he needed more. He needed so much more. You know?
Think so?
Yeah, he needed a lot more.
Are you disappointed with his career as of right now? Do you feel like he should have had more Super Bowls?
I mean, look at Dan Marino. He never got a Super Bowl. Right?
He went to one, and lost. You're right.
Like I always tell people this, Tom Brady makes it look easy. It's not easy to win a Super Bowl. It's nearly impossible.
But that being said, last year Aaron Rodgers was bad.
He was. He had his moment. Like we were talking about the Niners those two times, you know?
Yep.
Seattle, I don't really blame him for that Seattle one, but that was the team choked on that one. But like he had his chance, like when he said, like, "Give me home field and we'll see how it does," and he got home field and choked again. You know,
how many Super Bowls should he have? Do you think?
At least two.
At least two.
Actually, you know what? I think he's at the because when you think about it, what Manning and Ray Lewis, they both won early, right? Well, they both won like in the middle of their career, and then they both won on the way out.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know, John Elway, he didn't win till his
last 2 years. You're right.
So
that we might have a late peak Rodgers.
Yeah, like I said, Tom Brady makes it look easy. You're not supposed to win like 7 Super Bowls.
This is not natural.
Yeah. Like another curse was like there was another curse that Tom Brady broke. It was like if you're the home team, you don't go to the Super Bowl. And then when Tampa was the home team that one year, he went to the Super Bowl.
Right, that's true.
And the next year, the Rams went to the Super Bowl. But Tom Brady broke the curse, you know?
So you're saying, because the Super Bowl's in Las Vegas this year, that the Raiders are going to the Super Bowl?
I don't know, maybe.
All right, I'm back to glass half full.
That would be nuts, right?
Oh, I didn't want to get my hopes up, right? It was too early in the season.
Probably not. I go Jets.
I always ask this question, and I'm always met with just utter disagreement. I think this might be the best part of the season because you think your team is going to be awesome. You're like, no one's played any games. No one's lost any games. You're like, whatever trade has happened, whatever acquisition you think is the best ever. And you're like, I just can't wait to kick this year off. We're going to go. Like, you look at the schedule and be like, oh, we're going to win 11 games. Oh, we might win 12 games. You get so jacked. I always think this is the best part of the season.
My favorite part's the first 3 weeks. Because first week, upsets, Second week, you got to prove it wasn't an upset. Third week is like, okay, the real team's playing, and it's on.
Yeah, I'll amend my statement. I would say October is the best month for football because no team is out of it yet. Perfect weather, games are fun, time hasn't changed yet, the days are still longish. I love October football. And especially on the West Coast when the games start at 10 a.m., you wake up, you just flip on the TV on Sunday, and you're like, time to watch football.
So what's your tradition for opening day?
I don't really have one, but there was a time where there was an opening day, and I was like, I'm going to Yard House in Pasadena.
And staying there all morning?
And I'm going to watch the whole entire morning game at least. And I'm going to get the Bloody Mary. I'm going to get the nachos. And I just go by myself.
You don't need nobody because there's other people watching it.
Right,
yeah.
Some other people. Well, I mean, let's talk about LA as a sports town because it is a little bit of a different sports town because we have so many sports and not everybody's into sports here in general.
Transplants,
So we have a lot of transplants. Yeah. So you go watch a game at a sports bar, you will meet other people who are watching Philadelphia, Miami, Green Bay, because everybody's from somewhere else.
Cleveland. There's always Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah. So you kind of get this hodgepodge of fans at a sports bar here in LA where like I've gone to watch sports in Chicago and it's like a parade.
True.
And it's really, really fun because everybody cheers for the team. But LA is a different sort of ball game. Like I think there's a lot of Raiders fans in LA. I think the Rams have made a little impact, but Chargers, no. I don't know Charger fans in LA.
Yeah, and then the thing is too, San Diego fans that were Charger fans, they're like they disowned the Chargers. Like we ain't Charger fans no more.
The Chargers have really become the bastard son of the NFL.
True.
And they're very good.
But they're just cursed. They're like the Clippers, They're cursed,
Who do we blame for this? We want to blame Phillip Rivers. I'm gonna blame
Phillip Rivers is a good one.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers would be a good one.
Because think about it, like they had Drew Brees. They got rid of Drew Brees for Phillip Rivers, and then Drew Brees became Drew Brees.
Yep. We had those fun LaDainian Tomlinson years.
Oh, yeah.
Those were good, but they never... Did they even get to a conference championship game? I don't think so.
They did. They lost to New England, I think. No. Yeah, they lost to New England.
I would sum up the Chargers like 5 to 7 years as, remember that game we almost won? Oh, yeah, we lost.
Yeah.
There was so many games. Chargers is a tortured franchise.
I remember when the Patriots beat him, and then LaDainian Tomlinson was like so pissed. Like he was like a sore loser. Like, like he was just so mad.
He got mad at the one guy for dancing on the emblem. He was like crying.
Oh, because he did the
lights out. Lights out. That was great. I love a sore loser.
That's how mad. That's like Sacramento Kings fans. They get mad. Like get over it, buddy.
Again, this is the best part of the season, Frank.
Yeah.
Everybody's a Super Bowl contender right now.
Like San Francisco, very loyal. Boston, very loyal.
Mm-hmm.
New York, actually, they're actually good. But
New York, yeah, we were talking about it a little bit while watching it. Like the New York fan base is got to be on pins and needles for this New York Jets team because they will be all about this team if they go 3-0. But if they go 1-4 to start, they will turn on this team.
I mean, like, a good example is the Broncos last year. Everyone thought, like, they're going to have Peyton Manning, too, with Russell Wilson. And he was trash, right?
That was bad.
So, Aaron, this could happen with the Jets. There's no guarantee.
That's a good point. Like, before you get too hyped on the Jets, new quarterback, think about the Broncos last year. How hyped were we on the Broncos last year?
On paper, they were good, right?
I think so. Right? Russell Wilson. How many times did we say Russ can finally cook now?
Yeah.
We saw him cook. Frank, it was burned.
He got sacked. Oh,
Frank,
man.
It was bad.
Yeah. And the Raiders, that team last year, that was a good team.
You think the Raiders were good last year?
On paper.
Yeah.
On paper. But in reality,
It was bad. Those games were just bad last year for the Raiders. Those were rough losses.
Like Devontae Adams, they have Devontae Adams,
Yeah. I think the Raiders' offensive game plan was, all right, we'll run it on first down We'll throw an incomplete to Waller on second down, and then we'll just throw a jump ball to Devontae on third down. And he'll come up with it about 70% of the time.
You're right. It was so predictable.
It was the whole plan. Renfro was absent the whole season. I think he got injured. So he was out for 3. It was a weird... Derek Carr didn't want to get hit. I was ready for the divorce. I was like, you know what? I like both husband and wife, but they got to split up. It's time to move on.
Raider fans are crazy too
because
they're sort of like Laker fans, how they hate LeBron, you know, and they have the LeBron fans, and like you're on the same team, like just root for, because Raiders are the same thing with Carr, like, oh, I hate Carr, and everyone's like, oh, fuck you, blah blah blah. I
have some Raiders fans in my life, and they're like angry family members, because if you watch a game and it's going bad, like, you feel very uncomfortable with other Raiders fans.
Oh man,
they're getting too drunk, they're getting angry, potentially violent. I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings once watching the Raiders game. They lost, of course. And there was 3 people who got kicked out because they got too drunk and angry. And I was like, this could turn. Like, it's all fun when your team wins. But I remember one guy got kicked out because he drank too much. The game wasn't even over. Right? Wow. It was still mid-fourth quarter. I was like, I don't know if these are my people. I got to be honest. I get a little nervous around my own fans.
Things are different now. It's not like, it's 2023 now, you know? You can't just...
Right.
You can't just go. We have cameras.
Turn the page. We got a brand new season. You're saying?
Yeah, we have. You can't just. I remember I went to the Rams-Raiders game, and then the Rams made a crazy comeback, beat the Raiders, and I remember when we were walking to our cars, everyone's just like all down, and there's one like, I guess a Chola, you know, was trying to start shit with this one like kid, who clearly wasn't a Rams fan. He just wore the first jersey, you know. You could tell it's like a hand-me-down jersey or something like that. Like, he wasn't even a fan. I think he just went to the game, and then like she tried to start some shit with this kid, so like we would all jump him and stuff like that. And
really?
Yeah, and everyone's like, come on.
And he was potentially a Raiders fan too?
No, he was a Rams fan.
He was a Rams fan.
But surrounded by all Raider fans, and they're just so angry, and they wanted to like she wanted to beat him up, like start something, and like even the Cholos with her was like, shut up, come on, leave him alone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Are we the most violent fan base?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because
who's more violent? Cowboys got to be up there.
Nah.
But that's a distant second.
If you ever go to a Chargers game at the old stadium, they have a sign that's like, we stop selling beer after the third quarter, unless it's a Raider game, then we stop at halftime. You never saw that sign?
I've never known
they had that sign, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, we stop selling after the third quarter, but unless it's a Raiders game, then the second quarter.
Wow. Maybe Buffalo Wild Wings needs that sign.
Maybe, man. Maybe. Yeah.
What was the split at the SoFi Stadium where you saw Raiders fans to Rams fans?
It was mostly Raiders. I also went to the Niners Rams game too, and that shit was all red. And then they're just like, this is Levi South. Like it was crazy. Like, the Rams have no home field advantage.
They really don't, do they?
Really don't, yeah.
And they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I thought like that would have.
They barely won the Super Bowl.
They barely won the Super Bowl. They lost the one to New England, and then they won that one, and then it doesn't seem like the fan base has grown.
Nah, because it's still.
It's tough.
They weren't around, you know. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, they went to St. Louis.
Yeah, got to St. Louis, then they won a Super Bowl.
They came back. And the other thing that's so hard with sports here is we're so inundated with entertainment options here. We have the entertainment industry, we have college, we have professional now. It's just, there's so much to do here. And also, like, it is not easy to get around here. You can't just go to a game. You know, it's got to be a whole plan. So I think the fan base is still building. I think it's going to take a little bit.
No, the Rams have to keep on winning more championships. The Rams basically sold their soul to the devil for that Super Bowl.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, for the OBJ?
Yeah, they did everything. They traded all their picks. They did everything. But they won that Super Bowl. They
sold their soul to the Goodell devil.
Yeah. Now they're fucked because, you know, the team, they got Stafford, but then Stafford sucks the year after and stuff like that. So they sold their soul.
They put in the stopgap Baker Mayfield,
who
got him a couple wins. He was fun. That was a fun story for 2 weeks.
So the Jets might be in the same boat. Sell their soul to the devil just for one. Aaron Rodgers could be good. He could stink for the rest of the time he's there, or he could have like 2 miracle seasons and get one Super Bowl. You know?
Yeah. I'm really curious to see. I should have looked up the Jets' schedule. I'm really curious to see how the Jets will do this year, because I mean, like you said, this could be one last Tom Brady hurrah for Rodgers, or this could be Tankapalooza.
Well,
This could be Russell Wilson 2.0.
Yeah, the thing is, like, what in their division they have New England, Miami. They could probably take those teams. Mm-hmm. But fucking
Buffalo.
the Bills, yeah.
That's going to be tough to get over the top.
And no one's talking about the Bills, you know? So
Right.
The Bills have been close like every year. Mm-hmm. It might be their year finally. Who knows? Bills just are cursed too.
Bills got that
They're really
curse
cursed,
too.
yeah.
They couldn't get over the top of KC.
Cowboys.
Who did they lose to last year? I think they lost to Cincinnati last year, though. So it just seems like they're awesome, and yet they just can't get over that hump. Maybe it just happens to be that this is Mahomes' era. Kind of like the Blazers with Jordan back in the day. It's like, you're just not getting over the top of Jordan.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, because the only one that actually punked Mahomes was Tom Brady.
That's true.
Everyone else, he shits on
He's
everybody.
beating everybody else.
And
yeah.
maybe Joe Burrow. That's about it. But they're
Burrow.
but that's about it.
Yeah, if we're talking AFC, it's Burrow, it's Josh Allen, it's Mahomes, maybe Rodgers now, Herbert, maybe.
Yeah,
We don't know
wow.
about Garoppolo. Like, this is a stacked offensive side of the ball in the AFC.
And then Burrow's hurt too.
Yeah, what's the deal with Burrow?
Hamstring, I think.
Is that what's he out for? Do we know?
I don't know, but I might not draft him for my fantasy. So
That's good to know, because I am king of the auto draft when it comes to fantasy.
oh, do you win a lot with the auto draft?
I win more than if I try and pick.
I have a friend that he always wins with auto draft, and like everyone hates him, like fuck you and stuff like that.
Right. The hardcore people do not like us auto drafters. Well, my thinking is I can only hurt my team by injecting my own logic to it. So
Auto draft is what? Analytics, AI.
yeah, I think it's Chat GPT
Yeah. So,
drafts your team. So, all right, let's talk Hard Knocks.
Let's do it.
Episode 1. We have some specific questions to answer in this episode, and we're just feverishly writing little notes during this episode because
it was a good
this episode had a lot of packed into it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's recency bias. We're just so jacked for
Just football. That's why I
football
watch
that we're like,
something.
this is awesome. Frank, you want a beer? Let's get some beers. This is great.
I know. You're like, I got snacks. Like, fuck it. I
Who's
feel like
coming in the helicopter?
it's like we're watching football right now. Like it's like a Sunday game. Like, watch the game at my house. Like, let's go. Let's watch it. Yeah.
We had a little preseason of our own. So, all right, question number 1. Most memorable moment of the episode. I got a couple nominees. I got Liev Schreiber arrives in the helicopter.
That was crazy. We thought it was Joe Namath. And we were like,
I thought it was Namath, which now makes me ask, when are we going to see Namath in this series? We got to, right?
You think Aaron Rodgers is going to rock the fur?
Yeah. Oh, if Aaron Rodgers wins, say the Jets go 3-0, Rodgers has got to come in to the locker room in fur.
Right?
Don't you think? If he really leans into this, this could be fun.
I mean, Joe Burrow does the fur already. You know?
That's true. Yeah. So I got Liev Schreiber arrives in a helicopter. I got the opening speech by Coach Saleh.
Hilarious.
Was really good. And then I got Aaron Rodgers telling the young players to go say hi to Liev Schreiber. And he's like, go do it. Don't be an asshole. Almost like he was getting his son to go talk to the girl he likes. He's like, come on, just go say hi. Just go say hi.
I felt like he was being like a dad. Like man, come on. Do you know who that is? Like,
He was.
this kid. Go show him some respect, man.
There was a lot of ball washing in this episode. We're like, Roger, he's the best.
You're on his nuts,
He's
man.
the best. He's beautiful out there. And then even Rodgers was like to other players, he's like, "Oh, you're great." There was so much complimenting in this episode. Oh, everybody's hugging each other in that Hall of Fame game as well. There's a lot of love in this episode.
I remember your question right here on number 7 is who won the episode, and I told you
we'll
2
get
minutes
to it.
in, I was like, Aaron Rodgers.
All right, you're stepping on it, Frank. We're stepping on it. Well, we're gonna get to it.
My memorable moment was seeing Method Man. The dude doesn't age; he still looks the same. Mm-hmm. And the no look passes, that was crazy.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Because when I see them throw a no look pass, in the real game, like Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, I don't really see it. But the angle on this was actually good. I was like, oh shit!
Yeah,
I saw the Magic Johnson no look pass with the football.
I really like that. And also, it's funny that all the quarterbacks work on that now.
True.
We see Mahomes do it a couple years, and everybody's like, okay, I got to have a no-look pass in my arsenal. Even the receivers are trying to do it. They're trying to mimic Rodgers, and they're trying to do no-look passes. It's Steph Curry on the football field.
Rodgers could be like Steph Curry. Like, he was so money the whole episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're tripping out. Like, damn, this was hitting everything.
Aaron Rodgers seems to have bought in, don't you think? Like, he's into the offense. He's coaching up the young guys. He's making jokes. It seems like he's in, at least as of now.
He's drinking hypothetically, let's just say we have a time machine, we go to the future. Aaron Rodgers wins a Super Bowl with the Jets.
Oh, wow.
What would that do for his career?
Wow. Are you stepping on massive predictions already? Question number 6?
But what will happen if he wins 2 rings his whole career? Packers and Jets.
Okay.
He brings a championship to the freaking Jets.
Hall of Fame? So he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's already Hall of Fame.
He's already Hall of Fame.
But is it going to be like top 5?
Are we talking
He's already
Brady conversation with Mahomes? With Rodgers?
Maybe LeBron, because like when LeBron went with the Cavs, like I feel like people are like he only won 4 rings, but I was like, listen, that Cavs ring is like at least 2 or 3 rings.
Oh,
you know?
Right. If you win a Super Bowl with the Jets, that's 1.5 rings.
Right.
That's a ring and a choker.
Yeah.
1 ring and 1 necklace.
Because I feel like his stock is low right now. Like his legacy is low. Like he has underachieved now. You know.
Yes. Yeah. If he's a company, his stock has been dropping the last year and a half, and now maybe it rises.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So I got my most memorable moment. I like the Liev Schreiber in the helicopter. I like how it like almost broke down the 4th wall, and we see the guy who's been narrating it, and everybody's like, "That's what he looks like." I was surprised how many players didn't know who he was.
I didn't even know he was. You told me who he was.
Yeah, you didn't know either.
I have another moment. DeMarcus Ware singing the national anthem.
Oh yes,
That dude got a voice.
Were you surprised?
Oh yeah, surprised.
I got something on that for one of the later categories.
You remember?
But that was cool.
I thought that was Seal. I was like, is that Seal? And then
You thought it was Seal?
Yeah.
DeMarcus Ware singing the national anthem for the Hall of Fame game. That's worth the price of admission
Yeah.
to see a game. Now that's a good nominee too. I should have wrote that down. I went with the helicopter. You went with
Don't Look Past.
You went with the no look passes.
That was gangster.
All right. Next question. Favorite quote. I got a couple nominees. I think I know which one's the winner, but I'm going to throw out my nominees to it. I got, he's the best QB I've had on the team. That was by Coach Saleh. And my question is, what quarterbacks have you had on your team, Coach Saleh? You had Zach Wilson?
He's that horse shit, man.
Of course he's the best quarterback.
Garoppolo when he was on the Niners, right?
Was Saleh the head coach?
He wasn't the head coach.
No, I was assuming he was talking about it as he's the head coach. So I got, he's the best quarterback I've ever had on the team. I got when Rodgers takes the huddle and he says, "Hold on to your asses," and he calls the play. I like that quote. And then I got from Coach Saleh again, "Did you know the only bird who will attack an eagle is a crow?" I think that's the winner. Is my favorite quote. Well, I don't understand what that means also, by the way.
We were cracking up when that shit happened, right?
So maybe we can clear it up. Are the Jets the eagle or are the Jets the crow?
They're the crow.
They're the crow.
They're the favorite, right?
Is the crow the favorite? I think this. I was very confused.
We might have to go on Twitter.
We might have to rewatch that.
Or X, whatever it's called now.
Oh, right. X.
Yeah.
So my favorite quote was, "Did you know the only bird that will attack the eagle is a crow?" And he said it with like such like fervor. Like he's like taking these guys into war.
Yeah, so they're definitely the crow.
So they're the crow.
They're the crow.
Okay. All right. Jets are the crow.
What's that term, you know? Because they're not the champions yet. You know, they're the hunters. They're not the hunted.
Oh yes.
The crow's the hunter.
They're not the peak predator.
They're not favorite. Mm-hmm. In reality, if they didn't get Aaron Rodgers, they would suck.
Oh jeez. Can you imagine?
They'll be the Raiders. No.
They would have got Derek Carr.
Yeah. So my favorite quote was, "I can't wait to tell my son this guy I played with." When that one receiver is talking about like how he's like, I've known you my whole life.
There was a lot of like the young guys coming up to Rodgers to like kiss the rings for a little bit there.
Yeah, that must how LeBron feels. Like, oh my God, man, I get to play with LeBron and stuff
yeah.
like that.
You know, I never thought of the Rodgers-LeBron comparison, but there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, it is true.
Older guy, second team. It's almost like these quarterbacks, when they go to another team for their twilight of their career, it's almost like their second wife. It's like, okay, now I'm going to get it right.
Their second family,
Their second family is like, I had my first wife. I know where I messed up. It's time for the second wife. Now I know what to do. It's almost like kind of that feeling, like everybody's all chummy right now. That was a good one where he's like, I got to tell my son about you.
Yeah, because I always see like those, I don't know what movies or what TV shows, but I always see it. And like, it's always the guy that like meets up with his father that like that ditched him when he was a kid. And then he meets his father, and the father's all successful, got like all these, and his kids are living a great life. He's like, why do you get that? And I got this shit.
Yeah, that's a good quote. All the young guys were paying homage to Aaron Rodgers.
So they're on, and Aaron Rodgers sort of needs young talent. You know, he needs some people to carry him and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, there's going to be a point in this season where Rodgers is going to need his teammates more than the teammates need Rodgers.
I mean, like,
I'm curious how that's going to go.
You remember when we were talking? Manning won his second ring all from defense. You know,
right?
He really didn't do shit. You know,
it would be interesting if Rodgers has to turn into game manager Rodgers and rely on defense or something like that. I don't know if he can do it.
I mean, as long as he wins the ring.
Long as he wins, yeah.
If he wins the ring for New York, when's the last time? The Giants were the last one. The Jets was name it, right? So.
Yeah. Jets had never gone anywhere. Giants won. Yeah, the two Manning ones.
Yeah.
Against the Patriots were their last two.
And then name it, you know, that's the last Jets one, you know.
Right. This is a hurting franchise. Those are two good quotes. Next question: what job would you want from this episode? I always try and think of like a deep, funny one, but this one was pretty simple for me. I want Nathaniel Hackett's job.
You want to be offensive coordinator?
I want to, well, right now, because everyone thinks you're a genius right now. Like, we were even talking, like, number one, Nathaniel Hackett is like broing it up with Rodgers. He's like, oh, you're throwing so great. You're throwing so great. And then Rodgers is like, oh, yeah, you're great on the team. And also, Nathaniel Hackett looks all jacked. He must have hit the weight room this year.
Lot of stress, man.
Yeah, so maybe you got some stress workouts.
I mean, it could be a thing, you know, like, you know how Phil Jackson, he's good with Kobe Bryant, good with Michael Jordan. But when he went on his own and he coached Carmelo Anthony, he didn't coach Carmelo Anthony, he was the president of the Knicks. And he tried to do what he did with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant with Carmelo Anthony and failed.
Didn't work.
Maybe that's their dynamic, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this would be a fun job to have first week of training camp, and you just encourage all your guys. You're playing 7-on-7. You're just doing little drills. You're throwing the ball through that little net catcher.
That shit was dope.
Yeah, and like he even got on the drill on a couple of them where they're trying to hit the pylon. He's throwing the ball. Like, I would want this job from this episode is like, give me the quarterback coach.
I mean, he's excited. He's in a good situation. You win a title for New York. That's
right.
Good. That's you're GOAT. You're legend status.
Well, I'm not even thinking about that yet. I'm just thinking like this week, let me be the quarterback coach. And all I do is compliment everybody and tell Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson they threw good passes. And then they tell me, oh, you called a good play. I'm wearing muscle shirts. I'm looking all tough. Like, I want that job this week. It looks like fun.
The job I want, who's that guy from Hard Knocks that does the voice? What's his name again?
Liev Schreiber.
I want that.
You want that job?
I want that.
Wow. Out of left field with the pick.
That's the one I want, you
the
know?
narration.
I got a shitty voice, you know? You think my voice would be good for Hard Knocks? Probably not, you know? That voice would.
You know what? I would like to see a sample Hard Knocks narration by you in the future, Frank.
You gotta have the deep voice, you know? You know?
Yeah,
like
we should play the music over and you should do a voiceover audition for your Hard Knocks.
Maybe I'll try.
Oh, good pick. I liked how at the end during the credits, Liev Schreiber is telling us how he used to be a cornerback for Brooklyn Academy. I love it. That was good. Next question. Unintended comedy. There's always something in here where is really funny. Like, I hearken back to when the Browns were on Hard Knocks and the big fat coach stomach would move when he would talk. Just perfect. But I got this episode, Unintended Comedy, the part where Liev Schreiber and Aaron Rodgers are just nonstop complimenting each other on the sidelines. Like, you're great at what you do. And he's like, I don't really do anything. They're right at all. I was like, you're great at what you surf? You're a California guy. They're just having this bromance on the sideline. I'm like, what is this? Like, just keep the camera on. I'm like, they're going to say some more funny stuff if we keep it going. So I went Liev Schreiber, Aaron Rodgers, nonstop compliments.
That's the best quarterback I ever had. My favorite part was when Aaron Rodgers was just throwing and they're just all in his nuts. And then this one guy was like, man, that boy's cold.
Yes.
I was cracking up on that.
There was a lot of Aaron Rodgers fanboying in this episode. And I think Aaron Rodgers' stock is way up. Why? Like, if you're a Jets fan and you watch this episode, you got to be pretty pumped. Like, look at this guy. He's into it. He's buying in. He's throwing balls through the nets. You got to be jacked.
I mean, we'll see the first week. They're playing the Bills.
Interesting. That will be. I can't wait to see Aaron Rodgers, that first series. Like, number one, what are the play calls on the first series? Is there going to be a deep ball in the first series?
True.
You know, like, what are we going to do here?
He could also be totally trash.
Right?
like the first games. You know. Aaron Rodgers, I seen start slow before.
Mm-hmm. We even saw it, like, we should have known last year was a bad omen. Like, I forget who they played, but he throws a deep ball to one of his receivers and the receiver drops it. And at that point, it would have been maybe a tie game where they went up 7, and then they end up getting blown out by the team. It's just a bad omen. When you drop an open deep ball and then you get blown out, like, this season might already be over.
I think they just had the hangover from that San Francisco thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They just couldn't believe they lost that. They lost all hope after that. They're just like, all right, we gave you home field. We got all this stuff. You know, it was a close game.
Yep.
And you still can. I don't think San Francisco scored a touchdown that game, right?
I don't think they did. I think they were like field goals, and I think they got. Didn't they block the punt?
Yeah, and the weather was shitty that game. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
You remember like Tom Brady, like whenever like New England would have like those snow games and stuff like that. That dude come through, man. You know, especially we know the Raider one, right?
Yep. Yeah. Like, yes, I do know.
When it's snow, Tom Brady finds a way.
It's almost unfair to compare him to anything because he always found a way. Like, can I think of a bad Tom Brady game? I'm sure there's some in there, but I can't think of any.
His last game
was bad. So, what do you got for unintended comedy?
That boy's cold.
That's it, huh? You like that one?
That cracked me up. I was laughing. That was an LOL moment.
I liked a little bit when the linemen are in the little huddle together and they're sort of just like chit-chatting about how their knees hurt and stuff like that.
Oh.
I might have used another 2 minutes of that. I wouldn't have minded that. Leads me into my next question. This one's called Producer Meeting. What show would you make out of this episode? So I already had the linemen. I'm thinking we take those linemen and they go on a road trip. And they're like going through hometowns. They're finding places to eat, and they're having like a little, kind of like barbershop. And we just get to hear their conversations along the way. That would be my option if I'm going to make a TV show out of it.
My thing, let me see.
I got a second idea too.
What's a good show I could get? Maybe sing national. Which NFL player could sing?
Oh, okay. Hold on. I had that thought too.
Yeah, that dude.
So DeMarcus Ware sings the national anthem. Here's my thought for a TV show. Every single game, I think a former player should have to sing the national anthem. Like a former player of the home team should have to sing the national anthem.
That's a good idea.
And we might go like American Idol style. We could judge each one. And like when it comes playoffs time, maybe we choose the winners of the season national anthem and then they sing. So then we'll have like a little competition going out throughout the season. What do you think about that?
That's actually a good one.
Surprisingly, a lot of players like to sing. Like, you ever hear Carl Lewis sing the horrible national anthem?
Oh.
Horrible.
Bad job?
He does horrible. Marcus Allen, I think, made a Christmas album.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, I think players secretly want to sing. And remember, I don't know, maybe it was Fox. I think the offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles sang Christmas songs, and they recorded 5 of them. And they went to a sound booth and everything. So I think we have a national anthem competition between former players.
I mean, you have to sing live. You have to be good. You
got to sing live, so it's going to be tough. They got to practice. And then we have an American Idol style judging competition while the season's going. That's my other idea for a TV show. What do you think? What's your producer meeting? What do you want to make a show out of for this
How about
episode?
the no-look pass?
Oh, what do you mean? What's the show?
You know what? How about just Madden? Let's bring back the Madden challenge.
What's the Madden challenge?
You ever see that? They will have it at the Pro Bowl.
Oh, the quarterback challenge.
Quarterback challenge.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm all the way in
Let's
for
do
that.
that.
I've gone on YouTube and watched old quarterback challenges from 1999.
They should bring that back, like a TV show, though.
I'm in for that. It would almost be like almost a cool American Gladiators
Ah,
type, because they have to do like throw it through the target. But what I would love before the season, if all quarterbacks, all the starting quarterbacks, all 32 of them, they go through who can throw the ball the furthest. Because it'll be somebody can throw the ball 75 yards, and they won't be like Mahomes. It'll be like the guy on, it'll be like the guy on the Texans or something. And then we'll just have that stat all year. And then when it comes time for a Hail Mary, then the stat comes up, well, you know this guy does have the longest ball of the season from the challenge.
wow.
Or Garoppolo will be like, well, you know his longest ball is 62 yards.
Do you remember Jamarcus Russell?
Oh, yeah.
They said he had that arm, like he could go on his knee, like doing the Colin
Yeah.
Kaepernick, and just toss that shit. And
Yeah,
fucking-
wouldn't you like to know what every quarterback longest throw is before the season? So
Yeah.
no injuries, no nothing, and they just air it out. So we have these stats of them. Maybe throw in like the 40, like so we'll know who the fastest quarterback is.
I mean, we might have an idea. Quarterback challenge.
Quarterback challenge, and then we can know all the stats, and we can use those stats all year long, like when they put the little ticker up during the season when they're showing the QB.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah, good producer meeting. Next question. This one's called Massive Predictions. So you can make a prediction about anything and everything based off of this episode. I'm going to start us off with a massive prediction. Are you ready for this?
Let's go.
I predict backup quarterback Zach Wilson at some point during this season will start a game.
I can believe that.
I say Rodgers gets injured. Maybe they have a good season. Rodgers says, hey, I'm taking this week off type of thing. I say Zach Wilson starts a game this year.
Or maybe they win so much that he plays, you know. I can picture Aaron Rodgers going crazy this year. Like, you know how Anthony Davis, when he went to the Lakers that first year? No matter what, he just played, whatever. He went all out. Like next year he might suck, you know. But this year, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to, like, bring the heat.
So you're all in on Rodgers this year.
I am.
MVP candidate? In on him, or do you think that's too much? You're thinking about it. I might have broke your brain on this one.
That's a tough one right there.
And like, who are his tools? We had that young receiver.
I don't think
Looks good.
I don't think he'll be MVP because MVP you gotta do everything. I feel like he's gonna be team player. He's gonna try to get everyone involved. He's gonna do whatever's right. You know, he's gonna run the ball. He's gonna pass. He's gonna just do everything. He's gonna play the right way.
You know what else I think about Rodgers? To go off the rails, we were going through his resume of chicks he's been with. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
Danica Patrick, Cheyenne Woodley, Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn.
So let's put our thinking hats on. Who should he date next to really bump up his celebrity status this year on the New York Jets? Should he date someone in the entertainment industry? Should he date someone of the New York era? Like he can date, like, say, a real estate mogul or like some socialite of New York. Like, what do you think? Who should he date next?
Is Margot Robbie married?
She is. You think he could get her? She seems too famous for him.
But that'd be crazy. He married Barbie. I mean, he's dating Barbie.
That would be crazy. I think she's married, though. Who could he go for? Older, young? He seems like younger. But if he went older, that would be a good story.
Just as long as it's not Kardashian.
Not Kardashian. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't.
That'll ruin the team.
That'd be jumping the shark, too. That'd be like, what are we doing here? Like, you're obviously doing this for publicity. So, actress. What about singer? What about a country singer? I could see that. Who's the famous country singer? I don't know enough about country. But what if, here's a crazy one. What if he's spotted in New York having dinner with Taylor Swift?
I knew you were going to say that.
You knew it, huh?
I was going to say that shit too, yeah.
That's an easy one.
That'd be crazy. But doesn't she, like, it'll be good for her too, because, like, if she breaks up with him, she'll come up with another hit album, right? That's sort of her thing, right?
Yeah.
She needs the toxic thing.
Yeah, that'd be too crazy. I'm trying to think who should go for next.
I can picture that next season.
Next season.
If he wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's high. She's high up there, man.
Very. That would be like the streams have collided.
That'd be crazy.
A-lister and A-lister. Sorry, I got off track there. What do you got for massive predictions?
Jets are going to win the Super Bowl.
Win what? The Super Bowl?
That's my massive prediction.
After one episode of Hard Knocks.
You said massive. That's my massive.
They're going to win the Super Bowl.
They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Wow. Who are they going to play?
They're going to win. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. How about that?
Oh, okay, they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
That's more reasonable.
Who do you have them beating in the conference game, conference title?
Damn.
Because it's going to be either Bills, Chiefs, or
Niners.
No, Niners is NFC.
Imagine if it's Jets and Niners and he finally conquers
In the Super Bowl?
the demon
Wow.
and he wins the Super Bowl.
Huh. Wow. Well, I asked for massive prediction, and I got
That's
massive
like Disney movie.
wow. Massive prediction. I thought mine was crazy with Zach Wilson in the starting game. You got him going to the Super Bowl. This episode really had an impact on you.
You have him dating Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. Come on, man.
That's true. Maybe I should have made that my massive prediction.
Ah.
Yeah. Wow. Let me do some more thinking of my Aaron Rodgers partner.
I mean, like I said, we could be wrong. And he could be a stinker like Russell Wilson.
Yeah. We could be out inside of week 2.
You know, Derek Carr, disappointment. Raiders were supposed to be so much more better last year.
You know who he could go out with? Sorry, I'm still thinking about this. He could go out with Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that would be good.
That's perfect.
She's coming up. He's a little more famous than her right now, but she's got a lot of. All right, put that in the bank.
He's look at Derek Jeter's resume. You know,
Derek Jeter was good. Yeah,
A-Rod's resume. He's gonna have a good. He knows what he's doing.
Aaron Rodgers picks him like he goes like not for the obvious hot chick. He kind of picks these actresses who are right at the cusp of being famous. Except for Danica Patrick. That was an odd pairing. I kind of liked it, but it was odd. God, who has more stories about the other one? You think he has more stories about her, or you think she has more stories about him?
That's a good question.
I don't know if we can ever answer that.
I mean, Danica started doing like she was doing the racing, but then she started posing like in those nice like bikini shots, and you're like, oh shit, Danica and stuff.
Right.
So
Or maybe they'll get back together.
Maybe. Oh,
reuniting.
Disney movie.
Last category or last question. Who won the episode?
You know my answer.
I went Aaron Rodgers' arm won the episode. That guy throws a good ball. Hit that ball comes out of his arm. It's effortless. And it like snaps out of it. His throwing motion is not super clean. He kind of like snaps it. And he does like a little twirl. When he does it, it looks really good. I say Aaron Rodgers' arm.
Like we both agreed, he had more gas left in the tank than Manning and Brady when they left their teams, right?
Yeah. If we talk about old quarterbacks, Manning, we all know Manning's arm. Brady's arm didn't fall off that much, but a little bit.
So Brady lasted to what? And Breeze lasted to what, like 42, 43?
Breeze went that deep? Went that old?
Breeze went pretty old. He Breeze at least went to the 40s.
Breeze's arm was not strong. I don't know if it ever was that strong, but it dropped off some. Who else went old? What was Marino's arm like when he got old?
I don't remember.
I think he could still sling it.
I mean,
Steve Young?
Nah, he didn't make it old.
He went old, didn't he?
Nah, he didn't make it old because he kept getting cracked, getting concussions.
Mm-hmm. But
his last good game was that one throw he did to T.O. in the playoffs against the Packers.
Yeah.
Brett Favre didn't even get that old. Like Brett Favre had
Favre's arm never dropped off. He's won.
Like he had that one good year with the Vikings, and then after that, done.
No, that was nothing left. Nothing left out there. Well, that's one of those things. The older quarterback goes to the new team. Like they got one season to make it happen.
That would have been epic. I really wanted. That's the year New Orleans, I think, had the Hurricane Katrina.
Mm-hmm. So, I think so.
So they went.
But that was the year they went for sure.
Like when the Patriots won the first time, that was 9/11.
Yep.
Like I really wanted Brett Favre to win to play Manning in the Super Bowl. That would have been epic.
Favre and Manning would have been good.
But it never happened. Favre sort of dropped the ball so many times.
Yeah, Favre blows that game in that overtime against the Saints.
Yeah.
Like he throws the critical interception.
He threw something crazy.
He did crazy. Like Favre's another one where
he's Aaron Rodgers.
You can really go. Favre was not good in the playoffs. He wins the one Super Bowl against the Broncos, which. No.
He lost to the Broncos.
Sorry. He lost the Super Bowl to the Broncos, which He had the ball to end that Super Bowl, and they fail. They don't convert.
Who did they beat, though? They
beat the Patriots, which really was a Desmond Howard win, a special teams win, because the Patriots are in that game into the third quarter.
Yeah.
So Brett Favre really, really did not have the playoff superb run that we sort of seem to forget about.
Like Elway it was always the ones he lost where he had great playoff games. Mm-hmm. But when he won a Super Bowl, he did the helicopter thing.
Yeah,
but it was the team. It was Terrell Davis.
It was the
right?
team. Yep, he finally had a good running back, and he went for it though. I give him that. He had some great plays in that game. But you're right, the Favre thing. Are we sure he's good? Hot take alert. Are we sure Favre was good?
He is good.
He is good.
But like I said, Tom Brady makes everyone look so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were comparing old quarterback arms and what they dropped off. Manning probably the worst example.
Yeah.
Favre probably the best example. His arm was still good. And Rodgers' arm, I think he won. Rodgers' arm wins the episode.
I mean, Manning had 2 neck surgeries. What do you expect?
We can't fault Manning.
You know,
you're right.
And like we said, if he did roids, okay, I'm down with that. Mm-hmm. You even say
I think he did.
Legs. I think so too.
I think there was stories where the roids were getting sent to his wife.
To his wife, which is smart. And then he retired that year.
Uh-huh.
So he never talked about the roids.
So maybe maybe Rodgers is on something, or maybe the dark room that Rodgers went on, the retreat, maybe that boosted his arm.
You think Brady was on the juice?
I think Brady was on something. I think he was on the cutting edge of athletic performance. So whether that is stem cells, testosterone, blood thinner, the tears of young fetuses, whatever it was, whatever is just this side illegal, I think they're all on that. They have to be. These are professional athletes.
Because you remember when the Ravens beat the 49ers, that year Ray Lewis was accused of doing performance-enhancing drugs, which is antler spray.
Deer.
What the fuck is that?
I never understood what that was or what it did, but I think it was legal.
You should be allowed to use antler spray. Who cares?
I think it was okay. I think it was legal, but it was just what are you doing? Type of thing. But these players get so beat up. Whatever is out there, they're going to do it.
I agree.
You have to. It's almost you perform better when you have carbohydrates. Give me carbohydrates.
Yeah. We were talking about Hackett. That dude might be on steroids, and it wouldn't be a problem.
Not a problem. So many jack coaches, they're on stuff because hey, I'm gonna look just as good as my players.
And they're old. You need a little extra Viagra.
Remember the old days where our coaches look like Don Shula with a big old pot belly and a wrinkly face? Now coaches look like they could play if they needed to.
So true.
Wow. So you got Rodgers wins the episode for you?
He wins the episode.
Just in general, Aaron Rodgers.
He killed it. He killed the whole episode, you know? Arm, personality, funny.
Hard to argue.
Did the dad thing. Come on. Talk to him, Quit being an asshole,
Yeah, I like it. I'm still wondering when we're going to see Namath. We got to see him.
And then, Rodgers, you said, this Hard Knocks might be good PR for him because he's been getting such bad PR the past couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, at some point during this season, we're going to ask the question, what's Rodgers' post-football career like? Is he going to be somewhere still involved in football? Is he going to host Jeopardy? Is he going to be in the entertainment industry? We're going to have that talk at some point.
Think about this. He didn't take the vaccine. Right? And then let's say we have a Walking Dead scenario where, everyone that took the vaccine becomes zombies. Aaron Rodgers might be like Rick.
Yeah.
He might be just killing. He might just be leading people.
Should we go back to producer meeting question? We have the story where Aaron Rodgers is the only non-affected person on Earth.
And all the NFL people become fucking...
Yeah. That sounds like a good comic book series.
I believe Brady didn't take the vaccine either.
Probably not.
There's a lot of NFL players.
There was a lot. Yeah. We just focused on the big name ones.
Who's the QB on the Vikings? He didn't take it either.
Kirk Cousins.
He got so much shit for it.
He got shit. Yeah. Everybody who didn't take it got shit because was our mindset at the time. And now they're all looking like, that might have been an okay decision. We never figured out the DeMar Hamlin issue. Why that happened to him.
You think it's because of the vaccine?
No, I don't know, but I would like to know, why did this happen to this healthy individual?
Young kid too, right?
Young. We were talking about before with Bronny. Why are these young people having these horrific health issues? It's a question because they're young, they're healthy, and what's going on here? So maybe Rodgers and all the non-vaccinated ones, that could be the show where everybody turns into zombies but them. Oh, and at some point, the zombies are encroaching on them. Like, it looks like this is it. The zombies are going to get us. And a bucket of footballs Rodgers finds under a tarp, and he grabs them, and he just starts drilling zombies with them with his magic arm.
Doing no looks. Like,
does a no look and takes out the zombies in the head. Yeah, there we go.
We got a show.
That's it. That's the show. Well, episode 1 of Hard Knocks, Franklin Yee.
Hey, we got it.
Oh, my God, we're so ready for football, Franklin.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Thanks for doing this.
Who you think's going to win the Super Bowl? Prediction
Oh,
now.
wow. Okay.
I said the Jets.
Okay, you put me on the spot.
I'm on that juice.
All right, let's talk. Let's take us out with AFC. Buffalo.
It might be their. You think it might be their year?
And they are going to go up against. Shoot! Wow, you're really putting me on the spot. I'm going to say they're going to go up against. Who's even in the NFC? Why am I blanking on the NFC?
I'll tell you something. Like, as a Peyton Manning fan, whenever he was the favorite, he never won the Super Bowl. It was when he wasn't the favorite, and he just came up all of a sudden like, oh, shit, that's Peyton Manning. That's when he won.
Okay. I mean, I'm going against all my instincts, and I'm not going to say the Cowboys are in the Super Bowl.
How?
I'm not saying it. Okay. Buffalo versus San Francisco. Give me Buffalo.
You're on that Niner juice?
I guess I am. All right, that's my massive prediction.
Let's talk about it after the Super Bowl.
Thank you, Frank.
It was a pleasure. Always, Pat.
All right, that is it. That is episode 1, Hard Knocks, the New York Jets, the Aaron Rodgers New York Jets. When are we going to see Namath? I need to know these things. I want to thank Franklin Yee for joining me on the show. That was a lot of fun. I'm ready for football to start tomorrow. I know it's not going to happen, but how about just a few scrimmages? How about just me going to the back and throwing the ball around a little bit? Hey, somebody come out, catch some of my passes. I got a Chad Pennington type of arm. Don't forget, stand-up comedy dates for me, August 14th, that's next week, 5 p.m., and August 16th, 6 p.m., here on the West Coast, Flappers Comedy Club, the Burbank Comedy Festival. I'm in it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've done it before, and it's a good time. So come on out and let me know you're coming. So next week, episode 2, I will have a new guest on the show, and we're going to recap the Hard Knocks episode. We're going to answer all the same questions, and we're going to see our reactions to it. Who's it going to be? Well, you're going to find out next week. Thanks for listening, everybody. This was Hard Knocks for Franklin Yee and myself, Patrick Ramirez. See you next week.